The reason that 2016 was a particularly big year for AJC begins with the fact that it was our 110th anniversary. And even though my children, when they were much younger, were convinced that I was there for the founding of AJC, and it took them a while to understand that I wasn't there, but came on board in 1979, we celebrated in style. And institutionally, it was a very good year from that perspective. We were founded because of the pogroms in Eastern Europe. And so we went to the source of the pogroms that triggered the interest of American Jews in Chisinau, in what is today Moldova. And we were there this summer, and we met with the president, the prime minister, and other leaders. We paid tribute to the victims of the pogroms of 1903 and 1905. We went back to our roots. Our global forum in 2016, which is our annual gathering, was the largest in our history, which I think speaks to the sort of vitality of AJC. We had nearly 3,000 people attending from the United States and dozens of countries around the world. We had a number of global leaders on stage, and I think it was a great tribute to our 110th anniversary. This year, I think we'll set a record. In fact, it has already set a record for fundraising for AJC and in our 110-year history. So another sign of the vitality. But more important than these numbers, because at the end of the day, AJC is not about numbers, it's about mission. And I think this was a good year for us. We were engaged with about 115 countries on a regular basis. We either traveled there, we met the world leaders here, we did both. But AJC is about the long term. We know that we can't change global views in one meeting or one trip. We're in this for the long haul. I think that's what's distinctive about AJC. We understand that to be successful as a non-governmental advocacy institution, we need patience, we need persistence, we need perseverance, but above all, we need smart diplomacy. And AJC is all about the effort to engage in smart diplomacy. So in those countries and here at home, it's about trying to find a way to defend our values, to make friends. Some of the highlights of this year, well, I think one of the main highlights, of course, was the creation of our Muslim-Jewish Advisory Council, which we announced just 5 days after the election results in November. Another was the opening of our AJC Central European office. This is our 5th office in Europe alone, and will cover 7 countries in Central Europe and be headquartered in Warsaw. Now we're beginning the process of establishing a Latino Jewish Leadership Council. In other words, we're strengthening the bonds of relations with other key communities. We're underscoring our commitment to pluralism, to relations with important faith and ethnic communities. We're building the architecture for a global voice and a global presence, all for the same purposes, all to ensure that we stand up for liberal democratic values, the values that define our lives, that we stand up for the Jewish people wherever they may live, and that we work as hard as we possibly can to help ensure Israel's place among the nations. AJC gives us a platform here at home and around the world to engage in sophisticated, smart, long-term advocacy in order to stand up for what we believe in.